Hello and welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. We're here to discuss Hearts versus Celtic on Sunday. Got John with us to go over everything. How you doing, John?
All right, Xander, how's things?
Yep, I'm over the moon that the international break is over. Thank God it's over, so I can say that international break drives me off my nut. What did you think of the international break, John?
I watched the Scotland against Spain game. Disappointing. Thought Scotland were terrible. Standing and admiring them. Seems to be when they come up against the big teams, they just stand and admire them. Did it with England. Did it with Spain. Did it with France last night. That's a measure of a real team, innit? You play against teams like that. That's a marker for you. You know how good you are when you're competing against these teams. But so far, Scotland hasn't. Apart from beating Spain at Hampden, of course. Rubbish.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have been a different story the other night if it meant something, but it was just a friendly. I think the England game was a friendly as well, wasn't it? But we're here to talk Hearts versus Celtic on Sunday, John. The long-awaited Hearts against Celtic. It feels though I've been waiting about 3 months for this game. The international break is just dragged in. But finally, we've got past it, and we can look forward to a Celtic game on Sunday. So, we'll get into it right away. Let's start with the betting on Celtic versus Hearts. We've got Hearts 11-2, the draw 17-4, and Celtic 1-2. So right away, the bookmakers have got Celtic as favourites. Not as favourites as they have been recently, but still favourites. And you've got Kyogo 41 first goal scorer, Maeda 71, and Lawrence Shankland is 8-1 to be the first goal scorer. What do you think of the odds, John?
It's a bit closer than previous games, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The bookies are no daft. They know that Celtic gone to Tynecastle. It's always potential for dropping points.
Yeah.
Your Hearts will commit like headless chickens, always do against us at Tynecastle. So it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be close, I think.
It's going to be very close, I think. It'll be a 4-0 to Celtic, obviously. But I think it's going to be really close. And one of the really horrible games. But just as long as we get through the other side of it with a victory, I don't care how the game goes, to be honest with you, John. So let's have a look at Hearts' form going into this game. We know what Celtic's form is. We know what that is. So Hearts' form is, last game was a 2-2 draw against Hibs. And then they went to Ross County and won 1-0. Before that, they went to Kilmarnock and won 2-1. And the game before that, they lost 1-0 to St Mirren. So a loss, 2 wins, and a draw is a form in the last 4 games, John.
Aye, I watched a wee bit of the game against Hibs. Hibs should have won that last kick of the ball. Hearts were winning 2-0. Hibs brought it back to 2 each, and Hibs could have won it last kick of the ball. But the last 5 games has been a draw, win, lose, win, lose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a kind of they're sitting fourth in the table. The goals that they've not scored many goals. They've scored 7 goals this season, Hearts, so they're quite low scoring, although they're sitting fourth in the league.
Mm-hmm. It's, they're always a threat though, aren't they? They may not have scored too many goals. I think we've played 8 games so far and they've scored 7 goals, so that isn't great, you're right. But in saying that, they're always a threat, especially at Tynecastle with their fans, right on top of you. So, yeah. We'll go into the score prediction in a wee minute once we go through the team predicted lineup, and we'll let you start first, John, if that's okay.
Aye, Joe Hart, Liam Scales, Carter Vickers, Taylor, Johnson. That picks itself. Although Laga Bielki's going to be available, but I can't see him getting in front of Scales or Carter Vickers, can you?
No, especially against Hearts, I can't see it.
No. Midfield, McGregor, Hatate and O'Reilly, of course. Up front, Maeda on the left. And what's his name? The new boy was signed, Palmer.
Yeah. Oh, Palmer, right.
Right. It might be Palmer on the left, Maeda on the right. They're quite adaptable, they two. They can switch positions. But it's going to be they two, I think, and Kyogo up front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I'll say about the left and the right winger, because that's only seems to be the only position that seems to change in every game. So Maeda on the right and Palmer on the left. That's how I think he'll go. So exact same. Exact same as you, John. No surprises there.
No. No,
All
I
right.
can't see it any different to that. No.
All right. Okay, we're going to our first score prediction in a few weeks. I'm going to go 2-0 Celtic.
2-0.
I think we'll be good enough. Yeah, I think we'll be good enough, John, to come out of there with a reasonable 2-0 win. Obviously, Hearts will make it stuffy, make it a tricky game. But I think we'll come out of there with a 2-0 win. What's your prediction, John?
They get Lawrence Shankland up front, isn't he? I really do like him as a striker. He puts himself about. He's a busy player.
Scored a couple of goals against us, didn't he?
Aye.
In fact, did he not score a hat-trick against us one of the games last season? I'm sure he did. That was a game that finished 4-3 at Celtic.
Possibly did score a hat-trick, I can't mind. But, oh God, I don't know. It's going to be a close game, I think. I'm going to say Celtic to edge at 2-1.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be close. And I was looking at the last time we played Hearts at Tynecastle. That was when we clinched the title last season. So we won the league the last time we were at Tynecastle. That was a 2-0 win. Goals for Kyogo and O to win the game 2-0. I think Hearts got sent down to 10 men as well that game. A challenge on Maeda. So the last time we were there, we won 2-0. We won the league. I'll take that again, John. I've obviously not won the league, but I'll take a 2-0 again. And good luck to the boys on Sunday.
Absolutely.
All right.
Aye.
Yeah. Good luck to them. All right, we'll move on to the Celtic players that are away in international duty. Who did we have away? Carter Vickers, Palmer, Mikey Johnson, Scales, Taylor, McGregor, Alistair Johnson, Kyogo and Hatate. That's about 90% of the team that was away in international duty, John, but I think they've all came back fit.
Well, that's what happens when you've got a quality squad, isn't it? You're international level players at Celtic, so it's good they've all came back. There's no reports of injuries or anything like that, so that can only be a positive thing, I think.
Yeah.
Kyogo getting his first start for Japan. I don't know if he's played for Japan before, but
I think he played in a friendly and scored, so that's his second game, John.
His second game?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Aye.
And he obviously scored, didn't he, Kyogo? He scored against Tunisia in a 2-0 win. So he's off the mark anyway with his goal. So he's coming back. He'll be full of confidence, hopefully, going into the Hearts game. And obviously, Rio Hatate started both games for Japan as well. So he's getting noticed for the Japanese manager, John.
It's no surprise, is it? Hatate. He's probably the best Japanese player I've seen in years. Hatate. He's just world class, I think, Rio Hatate. You can see the skill in the... he's just absolute quality in it. It's not just skill he's got vision, and he's... For a short guy, like I keep saying, he's good in the air. He's really a strong player. Hard to get off the ball. His vision's impeccable, I think. I absolutely love Rio Hatate, and it's just a big surprise that he's not been called up for Japan before.
He's got amazing talent, Hatate. He's going to go far in the game. We also had Vickers away. He didn't actually play against Ghana. He never started, so that's a bonus. Palmer, he played both games against Cuba, so it's good that he's getting his international recognition. He's played both games against Cuba. Scales and Mikey Johnston, John, playing for Ireland. Scales apparently played well both games, and Mikey Johnson obviously scored. So he scored against Gibraltar. So his confidence a world of good, John.
Of course, aye. And I noticed Mikey Johnson on the bench the last game we played. You seen him warming up at the side of the park. Don't know, is Rodgers the man to get the best out of maybe him? International level player now, he's getting his game for Republic of Ireland. Liam Scales, of course, deserves his place, I think, in that team.
Yeah.
It's all good for Celtic. I mean, most of the players there are international level players now, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, I'd say just about the start of the 11, they're all internationals. Obviously, apart from Joe Hart, who's retired for England. So, yeah, it's more or less a full international team I've got going out there. Obviously, apart from the substitute players like Yang, I don't think he's getting a game. And I don't know if O played for South Korea. I'm not too sure. I didn't check that out. But it's more or less a full international first 11 that we've got going out there. Obviously, Matt O'Reilly as well, playing for Denmark. Yeah, so yeah, things are looking good for us. Things are looking really good for Celtic just now. But they all came back, and they all came back fit and healthy and ready to go on Sunday. So that can only be good news, John.
It's always good news, isn't it? I mean, it's so simple to pick up an injury when you're away in international duty. It's always a worrying thing for me that when Celtic players go away in international duty, you look at Andy Robertson against Spain, one of Liverpool's best players, most important players. I don't know if it was his shoulder he done in or his wrist or whatever. He goes off with his arm in a sling, So that's him out for months for Liverpool. So you don't know. It's a lottery, isn't it? You go on international duty, you're going to come back and without an injury. So you've got to be thankful when players return uninjured. So that's good.
You see, yeah, that's good, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like international breaks. It's a big risk for these players going away playing for their countries, and I know it's an honour. I know and I understand that, but for me personally, I don't like it. I'd rather the players were here, no playing for their countries, and they're fully fit and ready to go to play for Celtic. But that's just me and my selfish guy that way. So I'm glad they've all came back fit and ready to go. Okay. Any other news, John, you've got for us regarding Celtic?
No, really, no. Nothing to report. It's all the same news that's going about everywhere. I mean, obviously, Brendan Rodgers making an appearance. What do you call them? St Rochs. At the weekend in the Celtic Legends friendly against St Rochs, of course, the football team. James McGrory Park, they called their wee stadium. I used to go there every week and watch them.
Aye, sure you did, aye.
Aye, they're a good wee team, St Rochs, It's a good wee club. It's good to promote a team like St Rochs. They do a lot for the community there. And obviously, if you go to watch St Rochs, very hospitable, very nice people that run the club. It's a good place to go at the weekend. If Celtic are no playing, of course, you can get yourself a pie there. You can get yourself a wee beer or whatever. Good atmosphere, good people that run it. Great wee club. Which St Rochs won at 4-3. But it was good to see Brendan Rodgers making an appearance there as well.
Aye. So obviously Brendan Rodgers making his appearance up at St Rochs, but he's now going to be up against Phil Clements, or as the Rangers fans will call him, Philippe Clement. So how do you think he'll go up? How do you think he'll go against Phil Clements, John?
Oh, who knows? I'm just checking what's he actually won as a manager. I'm just checking that just now, actually. That's always a mark of the guy, isn't it? What's he done
I think he's won a couple of titles in Belgium or something, or one title in Belgium. I think that's his records. I'm not sure if you've got the details there, but I did hear that he has won a league title in Belgium. So Belgium's running about the same sort of level as Scotland, maybe, I would think. He's come to Scotland and he's going to be up against Celtic, so it's a different story. So we'll park that there, John, because I think we've went on long enough about him.
That's enough.
Celtic's women on Sunday, John, beat Partick Thistle 3-0. You follow the Celtic's women team sometimes, don't you?
No, this season I haven't, no. I haven't followed them. The only game I watched them this season was the Champions League game, where they get beat in penalties, of course. But apart from that, I haven't really been following them this season. I checked the league table, actually. I know they're top of the league. So that's always good. I keep forgetting the games are on, Sander. Celtic women are top of the league. Aye.
Right. I thought the last time I looked, they were sitting third or something. So they must be doing okay then, eh? They must be doing okay. But they got a 3-0 win against Partick Thistle at the weekend. But I think that's all the Celtic news we've got, John. That's it. Everybody's back, fit, ready to go on Sunday. It's going to be one of the games. It's going to be tough. You know, it's certainly not going to be easy. Hearts will. How do you think Hearts will play, John? Do you think they'll park the bus, or do you think they'll come and attack us?
I think it'll be a bit of both because they're a good counter-attacking team, Hearts. You know, I don't think there'll be an all-out part of the bus. I'm not expecting that for Hearts this weekend. They're at home. They've always got a great backing for their crowd. So I don't think it'll be a parking the bus for Hearts. Of course, unless Celtic pin them back. They could do it if maybe they can't find an answer to Celtic attacking them. No, I can't see Hearts parking the bus. I can see them trying to have a go at Celtic.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're going to come out and attack for the first whistle. And they're going to try and make it as uncomfortable as possible for Celtic. But that's down to Celtic to overcome that, isn't it? So it's obviously Naismith, he's going to have them fighting for every ball, and you'll see a lot of heavy tackles going in, I would imagine. You know, so we need a strong referee as well, John.
Of course, that's always a worry when Celtic go to that ground. There's always a lot of dodgy decisions. I mean, I'm sure after the game on Sunday, we won't just be talking about the result. There'll be a lot of dodgy decisions because it always seems to happen at Tynecastle.
Yeah. Aye, it's going to be one of the games that VAR's going to be involved quite a lot. I think. You know, I just think it's. You know what you get when you go to Tynecastle. It's the same every time we go. It's blood and guts and thunder, isn't it?
Aye. So the atmosphere will be hot as well. That's always the same.
Yeah, and many fans have we got? Many fans have they allowed into Tynecastle this time for Celtic?
That's just over 500, I think. So they've cut the quota to just over 500. So
right, okay.
That's just the way it is. It's just one of the. It's just a horrible place to go and try and get a win into it. Of course, Celtic's had a lot of success over the years there as well, and I think our heaviest defeat there was it no Brendan? It was the manager at the time, 4-0. They Stoke had a good run that we were on.
Aye, they Stoke that unbeaten run. That's right. So we're hopefully not going to have a day like that. Hopefully, it'll be more like the winning the league last season. There, hopefully, we'll have a wee bit more like that. But even in that game, we weren't too great. I had 10 them getting sent into 10 men before we started performing. So
Well, listen, Xander. We've went against odds. Sorry to interrupt you, Xander. Just a quick second. We've went against odds a few times this season and come out on top. Ibrox, no fans, depleted team, came out on top. Livingston, 10 men, came out on top with a plastic pitch. So I think we'll be okay, but I think it'll be a really close game. That's just what I think.
Aye. Well, I think we've both predicted wins for Celtic, so it's going to be tough, but I think we're good enough to come out of there with a win. And Sunday we'll find out, obviously. And just to add, it's a 2:15 kick-off on Sunday afternoon. Just to let everybody know that it's a funny time, 2:15. And imagine that'll be on Sky Sports, John.
Aye, that'll be Sky Sports. So I don't know, I'm always a wee bit nervous going into games against Hearts because it's going to be effort for Hearts. They're going to try everything to stop Celtic, and it's the only team they do that against. The only team, even when they play Hibs, the atmosphere's not the same.
It's also a great feeling when you come out of there with the win, isn't it? It's a good feeling. Yeah, it makes your full weekend when you come out of there with that win. And I think we'll do that.
Hearts against Celtic's a bigger derby for them than Hibs.
Aye.
It's a bigger game for them. It's a much bigger game for them. That derby between Hearts and Hibs is insignificant in comparison to them playing Celtic, in my opinion, anyway. They raise their game, they get stuck in. It's like a derby, It's always like a derby.
It's blood and thunder every time you go to Tynecastle. Every time you go, it's blood and thunder. But okay, John, we'll leave it there. We've spoken enough about it. We wish the boys all the best on Sunday. Come out of there with 3 points. We'll move on to the Champions League in midweek.
You want to go through comments or whatever before we go?
Have you got some comments there, John? Aye.
Yeah, I can read some comments if you end up.
Right, on you go, John.
Well, we never had nothing much to talk about during the international break. We just picked our best 11. So we've got a few comments for that. There's one for Dom's World. And that just says, earliest memories from watching the Hoops. That's from Larson's final season. So all picks are post 2003, 2004 era and playing in a 4-1-3-2. That's fair enough. Boric, Lustig, Tierney, Van Dijk, Baldy, Brown, Gide, Forrest, Nakamura, Hartson, and Larson. User, I think that's Paul. Let me just check. Paul. Can't mind the guy's second name, sorry, but your name comes up as user on YouTube for some reason. Very entertaining podcast. Enjoyed it. One question, who sings the theme tune? It's brilliant and catchy. Hail, hail.
Mm-hmm.
And
theme tune's brilliant, isn't it? Do you know who sings that, John?
I've got a rough idea.
All right, what else you got for us?
Theme tune is class, by the way. Aye. You just say that, right? Theme tune is up.
Okay.
The theme tune.
Moving on.
So it's basically just for our favourite squads from the 80s to the present day. It's just comments on that, really. David Gemmell, seen them all since the Lions days in the 1960s. And tough one to say, as so many good players. Okay, here goes. Peter Latchford in goals. I don't agree with that. Peter Latchford, nah. Pat Bonner was a far superior keeper than Peter Latchford.
I don't remember. I didn't see Latchford, John. I was too young to see Latchford, so I don't remember him. So that's why he wasn't in my team.
He was on the edge of me just starting to watch Celtic, and then he started to fade out. Pat Bonner was the number one keeper, was under. But I do remember him a wee bit. I just thought Pat Bonner was an outstanding keeper next to Peter Latchford. So I kind of agree with you there, David Gemmell. He says Danny was a right back. Well, Danny McGrain played a lot at left back as well, and centre half. He was see the reason I put him in my team. He was an all-round defender, an excellent, adaptable defender, left back, right back, centre back. Danny McGrain was outstanding in all the positions.
He also played left back for Scotland, didn't he?
Aye, but very, very adaptable. And I wanted to put Alistair Johnston in at right back. And the best left, but to me, I don't want Kieran Tierney in my team. That's why I picked Danny McGrain. I just think he was just a total legend. Anyway, yeah, go for Tommy Gemmell. He didn't play in the 80s, so we kind of go with him. Cracking fearless back with a shot like a rocket. Aye, Tommy Gemmell was amazing. But he wasn't in our era. That we picked a team for our era. Latchford and goals, Tommy Gemmell. McNeil and Elliott, two great players. Big Paul Elliott, of course. Billy McNeil, there's no better centre back ever at Celtic than Billy McNeil, in my opinion. But again, didn't fit our era. Midfield Stan Petrov, Bobby Murdoch didn't fit in our era. Paul McStay. So I'm not going to read any more than that. It's just a long comment for David Gemmell. Thanks for your comment, David.
Yep, thanks for that, David. Appreciate that.
Mad about football, Mialby, Vulharan, Paul Elliott are all with a shout. Agree with that. Ghost Tracker, Frank McGarvey, RIP, rest in peace, Frank. Always a Celtic legend. David Provan, McGeady, Andy Tom. What do you think of Andy Tom when he was at Celtic? He had a shot like a rocket, I know, didn't he?
I like Tom. I thought Tom was brilliant, John. I thought he was a classy player. But not good enough to get into my team. He was good enough, but there was better players. So the better players got in ahead of him. But Andy Tom was a great player for us. I thought he was
he had a shot like a cannon gun. Andy Tom. I tell you who Andy Tom reminds me, a stupid wee point, but he always reminds me of the actor Daniel Craig.
All right.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
The Doctor Who guy or whatever it is.
James Bond, I think he was.
James Bond, was it? Aye.
Do you know how he looks a bit like him, the eyes and that?
Aye, looks a wee bit like him, aye.
Mouth, and the previous video was the Celtic season so far, with a few comments there. Let me read it just to pick a couple of these out. And it was Paul again. Well done, some great points. and comments about the refs and bricklayers and Sevco. Bricklayers, I think he's talking about the brick wall we were talking about. Teams building the brick wall. Bad about football. A great recap. Paul McEwen, hail, Paul. Always on the channel, leaving a wee comment. Thanks for that, Paul.
Yep. Thanks, Paul.
Elaine, 2367. Hail, Xander and John. Hail, Elaine. All the best.
Hail, Elaine.
And we'll leave it there for the comments because we've not got all day to go through all these comments, you know. Some of them are quite long comments. But thanks, everybody, for your comments. They're all appreciated, every single one of them. We really appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, keep leaving your comments, folks, and we'll get them onto the next podcast. That's brilliant. All right, John, thanks for that. That was superb. Thanks for that. Enjoyed that. Andy Tommy, what a player. Right, John, we'll catch you in the next one.
All right, Xander, thanks again, mate. All the best to Celtic on Sunday, and we'll be back on Sunday, of course, for the post-match podcast. Okay. So thanks again, everybody. Hail, Xander. I'll see you next time, mate.
See you next time, John. Hail. Thank you.